A blue whale off Western Australia, alone. Behind it, more than 60 orcas. 5 family groups, converging on a single target. The first orcas hit the whale's flanks, others forced its head under. Others positioned themselves beneath it, keeping it from diving. The blue whale thrashed, tail hammering against a wall of black dorsal fins. It was dead in under 40 minutes. After the kill, the orcas breached and slapped their tails. They split the carcass beneath the surface. 7 years ago, no one had ever seen this happen. It has now been documented at least 4 times. The orcas that hunt blue whales find their prey by sound. Blue whale calls land on a frequency orcas can barely detect. Biologists call it acoustic crypsis, hiding in plain hearing. These orcas eat nothing but marine mammals. They listen for everything: a splash from a seal, a whistle from a dolphin, a call from a whale. They stay silent until after the kill. Then they become loud. Most people have never heard a sound as low as a blue whale call. Blue whale calls drop as low as 10 to 15 hertz. An orca's hearing cuts off at around 100 hertz. The gap shields them. Something else is happening that no one can explain. Since the 1960s, blue whale calls have been dropping in pitch every year. Across every population studied, the calls were already below the orca's hearing threshold. They keep getting lower. On paper, the blue whale should be untouchable, 70 feet long, fast enough to outpace a sustained chase, invisible to their hearing. When that shield fails, the first thing the orcas take is the tongue. In at least one case, while the whale was still alive. A research vessel spotted white water and dorsal fins in the rain. Seconds later, they saw it. A pack of orcas on a blue whale, a healthy adult, roughly 70 feet long. Its dorsal fin was gone. The flesh across its snout was torn away to the bone. Skin and blubber were still coming off in sheets. A blue whale at full speed is nearly impossible to catch, if it gets a head start. This one never got the chance. The method follows the same pattern. The orcas split into roles. Some seize the flippers and tail. Others push its head underwater to keep it from breathing. At the same time, orcas below force the whale upward. It cannot go up. It cannot go down. When one orca gets hit by a tail strike, it breaks away. Another takes its place. The orcas rotate and shift, grinding the whale down. No single orca takes enough damage to stop. 20 minutes in, the blue whale slowed. It began swimming in circles. It was still fighting. Its tail connected with at least 2 orcas. Neither stopped. 3 adult females lined up side by side and slammed into its side, forcing it underwater. 2 more attacked its head. Its forward movement stopped. 1 female pushed her head into the blue whale's open mouth and tore into its tongue. A blue whale's tongue weighs several tons. Within an hour, this whale was dead. More than 50 orcas joined the feed. The carcass sank, and they kept at it for hours. This is learned behavior. And at Bremer Bay, researchers have filmed what that learning looks like. Orcas drowning their own. Pod members surrounded a juvenile orca. They held its blowhole underwater, the same drowning method used on blue whales. They eventually let the young orca surface. At the same site, orcas have been filmed using that exact technique on live blue whales, holding the blowhole under until it stops breathing. Orca brains contain spindle neurons, cells associated with social cognition in humans, great apes, and elephants. Few other species have them. Every documented blue whale attack has been led by females. Orca families are matriarchal. The females make the decisions. Females with calves to feed are the most aggressive hunters. The same orcas keep showing up. The behavior may belong to a single innovator. One female who figured out how to take down the largest animal on Earth. Her family has been refining it ever since. Female orcas stop having calves but live for decades after, long enough to pass all of this down. After one of the 2019 kills, more than 100 pilot whales appeared on the horizon. A stampede of white water heading straight for the scene. If you want to know what happens when pilot whales and orcas meet, check that video on screen. 6 weeks later, the remains were still there. A slick of oil on the surface, surrounded by birds and tuna, with giant squid and great white sharks feeding below. Nothing in the ocean stays when orcas are near. Not even the animals most people assume are at the top. In 1971, long before anyone had seen an orca take down a blue whale, scientists off Point Loma, California played orca recordings to migrating gray whales. During 36 playback sessions, the gray whales produced 2 vocalizations. When scientists played random noise instead, the gray whales vocalized 47 times. No other sound shut them down the way orca calls did. Beluga whales are one of the most vocal species in the ocean. In one Alaskan waterway, researchers detected no beluga social calls across more than 3 years of continuous monitoring. Despite confirmed beluga presence, total vocal silence. Researchers blamed orcas in the area. It is not just whales. Great white sharks have abandoned entire coastlines after orcas moved in. In South Africa, 2 orcas began hunting great whites off one of the most famous shark diving sites on Earth. The great whites left. 8 years later, they still have not come back. When orcas are present, everything else adjusts. Blue whale calves have the most to lose. A calf is slower, easier to separate, and quicker to exhaust. To stay hidden, whale mothers go quiet. A singing adult male humpback can be heard for miles. A mother and a calf can barely be heard across a football field. Blue whale mothers take it one step further. They spend the most vulnerable months of their calves' lives in deep open water, far from coastlines, far from research vessels, calling on a frequency orcas cannot hear and hiding in the vastness of the open ocean. Orcas are the oldest threat blue whales face. They were not the most destructive. That was us. Commercial whaling killed nearly 3 million large whales last century. Blue whales were hunted to the edge of extinction. About 90% of them were gone, and with them, possibly everything the orcas knew about hunting them. Both species are recovering. The largest animal that has ever lived may survive because of a gap in its predator's hearing. Orcas attacking blue whales has only been documented in the last 7 years. What do you think changed? Let me know in the comments. Orcas may hunt the largest animal on Earth, but there's one whale that makes them flee in silence when they arrive. That video is on screen now. Subscribe for more Below the Blue. See you in the deep.